Hey everybody, good morning. What's up? And thanks for tuning in. Hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I figured I'd start you off this morning with the live building permit report for the month of August. You know, we always get them the month after, and this is a big one. And so if you all want to see what's going on or hear what's going on, pay attention to this one. But first, before we get into it, I do have Murfreesboro and Smyrna permits this time, so we got all those for the month of August. But just to recap, yeah, I get this question every time. The total number of permits does not always equal the total number of dwellings or units. That usually the dwellings and units is higher because the total number of permits is just the total number of permits. Meaning, like if an apartment complex was filed, then that's one permit that could have 10 buildings on it, which is 10 buildings. And then say each one of those buildings has 10 units in it, that's 100 units total. So that could be 100 units for one permit. So just to recap on that, because this is a big month. August was a huge month, actually, the biggest one yet this year. And let's just dive right into it. So as far as residential, I'll get to commercial next. I'm going to do Murfreesboro first, and then I'll get to Smyrna. But as far as the residential permits, there were 78 permits total with the single family. Got my spreadsheet here. With the single-family detached units being 65 of those. We had 0 lot lines, like duplex units, there was 4. And then for two-family dwellings, like duplexes, there was 0. No duplexes, the other townhomes. And then, y'all's favorite, apartment complexes. There was 1. 1 permit filed, but it's a big one. And I'll get to that one here in a second. That's the commercial. So for the residential, we've got, where'd it go? Of those 78 permits, there was a total of, total construction was $68 million in construction, just below $67.7 million in construction for the month of August. And again, of the single-family detached units, there were 65 of those. And then 12 single-family detached units, like townhomes, and then 1 apartment. So there was, of the single-family attached, like the townhomes, it was a little over $10 million in construction there. And now the apartments, let me get to that. Okay, so the apartments, 1 complex, 288 units. So that's between however many buildings, which I'll get to in a second, that's 288 units of apartments. So 288 apartments just opened up or were filed for the last month. So now going over to that, we got the construction, on the commercial side of things, there is an advanced medical urgent care, which I believe we did a video on that one not too long ago. That was 4139 Franklin Road at just $1.8 million in construction on the commercial side of that. We got one, it says Carter's Retreat Step System Control Building, new construction. It's a Rutherford utility company. Valuation of $30,000 on that one. So I'm guessing with a small valuation like that, it's probably just like a little utility shed somewhere that's going to be housing some pipes or something like that. The Chase Bank, which actually I did a video on that one before, which I got a lot of comments on because it's got the pond in the back. So everybody wants to go fishing, apparently, on that one, put their boat in the pond. It's a $2.6 million building. That's the one that's going up on Memorial, just in front of Kroger, across the street from Sportscom. Then we got one that says Old Hickory Buildings. It's an office building, new construction at 2015 Middle Tennessee Boulevard with just a little over $4 million valuation. So we got some new office buildings coming in on that address. And then there's another shell building, new construction on 1507 West College Street. If you remember, shell buildings are just that, it's a shell, and generally there's multiple businesses in there. So like a little strip, for example. But that's about a $700,000 valuation on that one. So that is the construction side of things. I already touched on the residential. We don't go over the sign ordinances or anything like that, like the sign permits or because there's a whole bunch of those. And then on the residential side, I don't touch on people expanding their garage, that sort of thing, because then there's hundreds of those permits. So we just don't touch on those. But going over to Smyrna. Smyrna was broken down pretty simple. We had 64 residential permits filed for last month for a total of $13.6, almost $13.7 million in construction on the residential side of things. And on construction side, we have one new permit filed for Stevens Aviation. It's a maintenance hangar and shop office at 1270 and 1280 Thunderbird Drive. It's a 57,000, almost 58,000 square foot hangar. So that's huge at $7.9 million worth of commercial construction. So there you go. That's Smyrna. I don't have Laverne working on those. I'll work on those for the next one. But so that's all of the residential and commercial for Murfreesboro and Smyrna for the month of August. So there you go. And also, please, if y'all watching and you have a question on, I always get a lot of questions on, hey, what's being built here? What's being built here? What's being built here? That sort of thing. Put them in the comments, because I go through those and I actually take those and make like a running list of ones that I try and answer for people. So while I'm out and about around town, I'll stop and do the construction updates for you, and I just try and knock them off on the list. So, but I will find more about those construction permits, the commercial construction permits for you, if I haven't already covered them, but like the apartments, for example, find out where that one's going, what to expect. It's 288 units. It's a big one. So there you go. That's the update for today. And now time to head back out and go do some more. So again, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You all have a great day.